The negligence and drug use of a Polk County couple leads to the death of an 18-month baby who was forgotten in a vehicle while the parents were intoxicated under stuff they were drinking, smoking, and piping. While the details are too graphic for me to want to recount on my channel, I will include the link in the description to the press conference of Grady Judd, and you can have him tell you exactly the details of the case. This is yet another example of how people's lives in Florida are being ruined by addiction. In this case, drinking is not illegal. Smoking what they were smoking is partially legal in some places, if not fully today. And of course, the pipe that they were hitting was definitely not legal. They were up partying till 3 in the morning. The next day in the morning when they wake up, they realize that they left a baby strapped in the vehicle in a car seat, and it was now the heat of the day. Cases like this in Florida are not uncommon, and these are not accidents, these are negligence. And as a society, we have to stop labeling things as accidents when they're really negligence. So there's a difference between an accident and a negligence. An accident is something that is unpreventable. It just happens and there's nothing we could do about it. And a negligence is when something bad happens because of our bad decision making, whether resulting in the loss of life of an innocent child who has no control over their surroundings, or a parent losing their life and leaving their children parentless. I'm sick and tired of seeing these type of things unfold in Florida, and I have seen close to me many friends and family and people that I know who have ended up in situations just like this with loss of life because of a spiraling lifestyle, out of control addiction, and the victim of their negligence and irresponsibility is always the children whose fault it is not, that the people that were given to them to help them grow up and be adults decided instead of being responsible to be irresponsible and addicted to substances. The time that you have 2 kids and a family, you're no longer needing to go party with people. You no longer have friends. Your wife or your husband is your friend and your children are your homies. There's no hanging out with people at a party or being out late drinking. Your family is now your group, your circle. You don't have friends. You don't go out and party and drink with a bunch of buddies. You have a family now. Now that is your circle. And the time for you to grow up and become an adult and start to take care of your family and your wife and your kids, that time now belongs to your family. That time now belongs to your kids. It doesn't belong to your friends or your drinking buddies or your fishing buddies. You now have a family, and that family owns your time, owns your life, your dedication, and you can't do that if you're a pothead. You can't do that if you're drinking all the time. Just because something is legal, that doesn't make it any better or worse. There's a lot of things that are legal that could cause a lot of detriment and pain to your family. And whether it's legal or not, you don't need to let the government decide what's right and wrong for your family. You need to give your family your best. And if you're addicted to substances, you're neglecting your wife, you're neglecting your kid, you're spending more time with fake friends and associations that are only going to bring you down instead of uplifting you. Today for people, there's a normalization of addiction. Oh, that's not an addiction. It's probably medical. It's good for you. You know, wouldn't the world be great if everybody was a crackhead or a pothead? That's the mentality that people have today. They have the mentality that bad things are good, and the things that are destroying their lives, they want to label them as recreational. Oh, it calms me down. I don't need anything to calm me down. We're sitting here watching your life spiral out of control, and you're not fooling me. You're not fooling anybody. You're only fooling yourself to believe that those types of explanations are making the rest of us believe what's clearly not true. As you guys know, I have never touched that garbage, and I always tell people it's not cool, it's not fun, it's not recreational. I've seen people start with that stuff and it leads them to other stuff, and then I see them lose their lives, overdose, end up in prison. Their whole lives just spiral out of control. And the sad thing is that these are people that I love. These are people that have a lot of potential, a lot of talent, a lot of abilities, and it all goes to waste because they devote all their time just to sitting around being high instead of giving society their full potential. Today, this stuff is everywhere, and in the state of Florida, it doesn't matter where you are, people are offering you this stuff blatantly. They don't even care if you have a camera. They're simply not afraid or concerned about its legality. They're just offering it to you. They're not afraid if you have a camera and you're recording them. They don't care about any type of laws against what they're doing. They're out there doing their thing, and you have a decision. You can pass on it or you can accept it. Despite the fact it's prohibited in the state of Florida, it's more prevalent here than in places that has legalized it. And just because a large percentage of the population thinks it's good or actually thinks it's beneficial, that doesn't change the reality that this stuff destroys people's lives and takes their lives spiraling downward into addiction. Popularized on the internet, glorified through music and popular culture, a lot of people would lead you to believe that it is in fact harmless. However, when you see somebody who's intoxicated and high and they act like this, negligently losing their life. Just recently I was listening to police radio here in Bradenton, Florida, and I heard a call for a 10-month-old baby having an overdose because it was in contact with fence. That's just one county over and a few months ago. So we can see that the prevalence of neglect is now happening all over Florida because of people's addictions and their lives spiraling out of control. Many times these people are in denial and they don't want to accept that their lifestyles are completely unacceptable. They go on to explain that it makes them feel better, it calms them down, when in reality, it's destroying their lives and the future of their children. If you find yourself addicted, trying to tell other people that it's not hurting you, you need to seek help. Find a place where you can recover and spend more time with your family and loved ones and less time with people who are not your real friends. Society and the court systems are not going to forgive you for your negligence. If you need help, seek it. Find a local place where you can recover and take away the people in your life that are worthless, that are making you spend time doing things that are detrimental to your family. If they were your real friends, they wouldn't let you destroy your life and jeopardize the future of your children. If you continue to have association with these people, they're going to drag you to the same pit they're in. Tell people that are trying to steal your time from your family that you're busy, that you're working. Lie to them. Tell them you're not able to do it. Tell them you're sick. Tell them you got COVID. Make up an excuse to get these people away from your family so that you can start devoting time to your family and guiding them in the right direction. If you know somebody's pushing you in the wrong direction and they're too sticky, they don't want to let you go, push that person away from you. Make up excuses. Lie to them, because if you tell them straightforward the problem, they're always going to try to tell you, oh, come on, man, we're buddies, man. We've been drinking together forever, man. They're always going to try to drag you down to that pit with them. Lie to them. Tell them you're busy. Tell them your kids are sick. Make up an excuse, but don't let those people steal from you, your family, your time. I'm going to give you guys the link in the description. Check out the press conference from Grady Joe when you have a chance and understand exactly what unfolded in this situation. A lot of times these neglectful situations can be avoided simply by good decision making. However, if you're intoxicated, drunk, or high, chances are your decision making abilities are not going to be very good. Act now to distance yourself from people that are dragging you in the wrong direction and stealing your time that belongs to your family. How many of those people that were at that party are going to give you commissary now that you're in prison, are going to visit you while you're locked up, are going to go to the court hearings and see how you fared that day, are going to help raise your children and feed and clothe them now that you're not able to do it because you're in prison? How many of those people that were cheering you on to drink are going to be cheering on your kids on their first day of school when you're going to spend the next 7 years of your life minimum locked up in a state prison? The same people that will go and do illegal activities with you will be the first ones to incriminate you when the law shows up as well. Cars flood, houses get destroyed by tornadoes and hurricanes, but your children continue to live on and your generations continue to live on. But how will they be successful when instead of taking care of them, you're locked up because your priorities were out of place? And if you're a young person and somebody in the neighborhood wants to hang out with you and they come to your house and knock on your door and you know those people are going to lead you in the wrong direction, hey, blow them off. Tell them you're busy. Tell them you're sick. When you blow them off 3 or 4 times, they're going to want nothing to do with you. It's your decision now whether you're going to associate with people. You hop in a car with a few friends, you have nothing bad on you. They got something in the car you don't know about. When you get pulled over, they say it's not theirs. Guess who's picking up those charges? You are. Now, your life got thrown away because you got in a car with people who had stuff you didn't know about on them, and now you are going to have to pay their consequences for their activities, and your life just got thrown away in a heartbeat for making a stupid decision of simply hanging out with people who you should have known not to associate with. If you're going to show the youth a certain way of lifestyle, show them the whole package. Show them when you're in the hospital and show them what those ailments look like now that you're suffering the consequences of your lifestyle. All I'm saying is show people the full package. Oh, you show people a little baggie. Oh, I got this right here. Oh man, look, this stuff smells really good, man. But why, when they die from an overdose or a neglectful death, why at the funeral do they have to say, oh no, he had a heart attack? No, he didn't have a heart attack. He had a crack attack. And that's the hypocrisy of these lifestyles. They push the lifestyle, but when you're in a hospital with HIV or you die from an overdose, then they have to change the whole narrative and say you had a heart attack. No, you didn't have a heart attack, man. You had a crack attack. When they're in a coffin from their addiction, or when they're in a hospital from their lifestyle choices, then they change the whole narrative about their outlook. Don't be telling people you got COVID. You don't have COVID. You have an STD. All I'm saying is tell people the truth about the addiction. Tell people the truth about those lifestyle choices. Show them the full package. Let them know, hey, by the way, hey, no, I got COVID. No, you don't have COVID. You got an STD. Post that on Instagram. All I'm saying is if you really believe that your addiction or your lifestyle is the right way for people to go and you're going to promote that on social media, remember when you're in that coffin to hashtag the reason that person's in that coffin. Remember when you're in that hospital to hashtag why you're in that hospital. Hey, don't lie to people about why you're in the hospital. Don't lie to people about why you're in that coffin. Let people know let everybody know, hey, this is what this lifestyle leads. Because when somebody's in a coffin or in a hospital, then they forget the narrative. I'm not saying don't do what you're going to do. You do what you're going to do. But remember not to lie about the whole thing. When you're in that situation now, hey, that's a wagon you got on. That's a train you rode on. That's what it leads to. So don't forget then when you're suffering the consequences of your lifestyle to all of a sudden be like, oh no, he had a heart attack. Nah, man, he didn't hit it. It wasn't his heart. It was a nose attack. Damn pipe needle arm attack down there. I tell you what. Yeah, if it's good for the children, it's recreation, why lie about it? Give us the whole package, man. Why switch up all this? Why now switch up the whole narrative at the last moment? No. When you go to that funeral, he liked that pipe so much. Hashtag pipe burner at that funeral. You're not positive for COVID. You're positive for an immune deficiency. Stop lying to people. Okay, you chose that lifestyle. Here's the consequences. Now go ahead and tell everybody how great it is. Because all I'm not even mad about what you do with your life. You do whatever you want. I don't judge you for it. All I'm saying is remember when you're suffering those consequences, remember to hashtag then. Because people switch up at that funeral. People switch up at that hospital meeting. If that's really the life you're going to walk, those are the shoes you're going to put them on all the way. But don't lie to the people behind you and tell them that it's a great, beautiful path when you forgot to tell them the whole package. I'm tired of the hypocrisy of people who are quick about that Instagram, quick about that hashtag, but they're not very quick about telling you why they're in the hospital.